Hey merfolk, I'm back. Please ignore all of this. I decided to butcher my face right before filming, which was an incredible decision. So today I am going to film a chatty get ready with me. I am going to chat and I am going to get ready. For what? I don't know, because I'm not going anywhere. But I'm gonna put my makeup on, perhaps take a nice little photo for Instagram. I don't know, we'll see how the makeup turns out. Because, in case you didn't know, I was away traveling for a while. I was in Romania for a few days for work, and then I went on vacation to Tokyo, which was my dream travel destination, and I was there for 2 weeks. If you haven't noticed already, I'm a goddamn weeboo. Just applying a little bit of moisturizer before I go on with my foundation. I've actually been back for a while, but I got into a little bit of a funk after I got back to Portugal because, well, one does not simply want to leave Japan. One leaves Japan thinking of how to return to Japan. I've also been overthinking this video because I'm an overthinker, and overthinking is what I do. Because I did kind of vlog through my Instagram stories, which are still up on my Instagram, both from Romania and from Tokyo. In case you want to check them out, they're still all highlighted on my Instagram page. And I honestly don't feel like ever getting rid of them. I want to see them always and forever. But I barely even touched my good camera, even though I said I would. We were just running around always, trying to see as much as possible, and I was just trying to enjoy the moment as much as I could, you know? So I only filmed, as in I filmed my surroundings. I didn't even talk, and took photos on like the Mori Art Museum and the Kite Museum and the Cat Temple. And I was thinking of what I could do with that, but that's really not much at all. So I don't know, I might just insert some of what I filmed at the end of this video if you want to check it out, but don't expect too much because I'm no Casey Neistat. The vlogging thing is just not me. You know, I did see a few people filming themselves on the streets in Tokyo, and I couldn't help but cringe. I really admire their courage, but I don't know, I would just rather very discreetly and quietly enjoy my time. So I was in Romania for just a short while, and as I said, I was working, so I couldn't really experience it fully. I'm a makeup artist for a singer who is doing a concert in a festival in Brasov in the region of Transylvania. So that's where we stayed until the last day, where we spent the night in Bucharest, the capital of Romania. So I barely even got to see Bucharest, but everything I saw there was beautiful. I really liked Brasov, and I love the people there. They're so much like Portuguese people, and the language was also super interesting to me. I kind of want to learn Romanian now, although I really need to get back to learning Japanese. But the language sounds like a weird Portuguese. It sounds like a Portuguese that I can't understand. It's very interesting. So I felt very comfortable there. It felt very much like home. The production at the festival also managed to arrange a few visits for us, which was pretty cool. It was really nice of them, so I did get to go to Dracula's castle and a few other landmarks, which I can't remember the name of, sorry. But there were so many tourists, and we had a film crew following us around, so it was so hectic that I wouldn't mind coming back, to be honest. I was just using the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in Baked. I really like this. It's very glowy and the color is really good. So, Tokyo. How do I convey all of the emotions? So we ended up just staying in Tokyo, even though we had thought previously of going to Kyoto for just one day. But you can't really get a feel for Kyoto in a day. And we just had so much that we wanted to do in Tokyo. So we just decided to stay and really enjoy Tokyo as much as possible. 2 weeks in Tokyo is really not that much, at least if you're anything like us. So I went to Tokyo with one of my bestest friends, Mariana, whom I've met because of our common love for the Japanese visual kei band Mali Smizer. And they broke up in 2001. But there was a reunion concert for their 25th anniversary in September, for which we managed to get tickets. So we decided it would be the perfect opportunity to just take the plunge and travel to Japan. And it was the best decision I've ever made. Because of that, my oldest and bestest online friend, Angie, we've known each other since we were both 15 years old. She also decided to come to Tokyo with another one of her friends. All of us OJ rock lovers coming to Japan for Mali Smizer. Like suddenly we were in a time capsule because these are things we haven't talked about in years. So I was living all of my teenage dreams. I had all of these plans to go to all these cosmetic stores, but once I got there, aside from the occasional drugstore and me buying myself some Hakuhodo brushes, I didn't really care about makeup and skincare at all anymore, and I'm sorry about that. I also had planned to look up some rarities from the 70s and 80s at used record shops, but I was overcome by J-Rock feels, so I only cared about my old J-Rock favorites. And I only brought back albums from my old J-Rock favorites and photo books and yeah, things I thought I didn't really want anymore. I just cared about all the other things about Japan that are basically at the core of everything that I'm into today. Speaking of feels, I should tell you about the Mali Smizer concert. It was perfect. It was better than I could ever have hoped for, and I seriously was not expecting how emotional it made me. I cried during the whole thing. We cried during the whole thing. We cried during, we cried after. I called my mom and cried like a baby after the concert. It was such a dream come true. I wasn't fully aware of the impact it would have on me because I was so grateful, for being there, for all of the wonderful memories that Mali Smizer have given me all through my life. Because in case you aren't aware of this fact, Mali Smizer is the best band in the world, and that is not debatable. You can tell me that the music sucks, that seriously doesn't matter. When people asked me about the band that I was going to see in Tokyo, they always wanted to listen to one of the songs, and I was like, you don't listen to Mali Smizer, you experience Mali Smizer. You can't possibly explain the magnificence of Mali Smizer by listening to a song. That just doesn't work. It's not about the music, it's about everything. They are the true aristocrats of the world. It was seriously magical, and I should finish doing my brows. I am using the Nabla Brow Pot in Uranus and a Zoeva Winged Liner brush, although I should seriously give up on telling you what I'm using because that's completely irrelevant for this video, but yes. So now I'm going to go in with one of my new Hakuhodo brushes. This is brand new. I've been using it a ton recently, but the writing on the handle is already disappearing. And it doesn't say the name at all. The smaller brushes don't have the name of the brush on the handle, so I can't tell you which one it is. But it's very, very lovely. These are beautiful, and honestly, I feel like they're totally worth it. I am going to go in very lightly with this Jennifer Lopez Inglot eyeshadow in the shade J315 Sienna. I'm just going to build this up on the crease. So we also managed to get last-minute tickets on the day for xa-vat at Shinjuku Loft. Another crazy experience. So xa-vat is a relatively new band. Well, not really. I think they've been around since 2012. But Kozi from Malice Miser is the guitarist, and the vocalist is Shuji Ishii from Caligari, who was also singing at the Malice Miser concert, actually. And of course, Malice Miser and Caligari are two of my favorite Japanese bands of all time. And both Shuji Ishii and Kozi are my two J-rock crushes of life. So I've been following them since the beginning, even though I have been completely out of the visual kei scene since, I don't know, like 2006, maybe? I've just been superficially following my old faves. But anyway, the concert was awesome. It was pretty dreamy too. I got a band t-shirt, which is super cool, and I'm going to be wearing all the time, and it makes me happy just by looking at it. There was also a new visual kei band that I didn't know opening for them called Hector or Hecto. And they were pretty great, actually. I really enjoyed them. There's barely any info on them online, and obviously I can't read Japanese, but I realized that one of the members of the band is actually Ao from Caligari, but from where I was staying in the audience, I couldn't see him on stage. I couldn't see the right side of the stage very well at all. So I lost a perfect opportunity for fangirling. The concert was also at Shinjuku Loft, which is a live house that I've known by name for years. I've seen a few concerts that were filmed on that very stage over the years, and it's not a loft at all. I was surprised to find out that it's actually in the basement of a building with host clubs on every single floor. If you're not familiar with the phenomenon of host clubs in Japan, you should Google it. Story time! We actually went to a visual kei host club by accident, and it was hilarious and embarrassing at the same time. I did not know there were visual kei themed host clubs, but I am glad to know that they exist. It had a fantastically decorated bathroom with a TV screen playing visual kei. I actually filmed it on my phone, so. Another Hakodo brush, and this purple here from Makeup Forever. Speaking of bathrooms, the bathrooms in Tokyo are one of the things that I'm going to miss the most. And I'm not even joking. I have issues with public bathrooms, with going to the toilet in general, but I have issues with public bathrooms. And I often will spend the whole day without peeing just because I can't do it in a public bathroom. Not in Tokyo. In Tokyo, oh, the joys of public bathrooms. Let's just say that in Tokyo, I peed many times during the day. I pretty much went to the bathroom in every single establishment that I could, and let's just say they were always extremely pleasurable experiences. Apparently I'm doing some sort of halo eye. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but this is happening. Eating was also a very pleasurable experience while in Japan, and very affordable too. I think our cheapest meal was 265 yen, which would be about 2 euros. Crazy. It was definitely not the best meal that I've had in Tokyo, but it was delicious nonetheless. And it was a complete meal. Like, I wasn't hungry afterwards at all. They also always serve water with your meals. You don't even have to ask for it, so you don't really need to order anything to drink. Of course, we've had dinners that were a lot more expensive than that, but still, you know, it is what it is. In case you don't know this about me, I love food. I love food. And I will eat pretty much anything. Of course, there's a couple of things that I don't like, but I am very adventurous with the food that I eat. My friend Mariana, however, she's not very much into food. It's not really her thing. She doesn't really enjoy eating all that much. She's the kind of person that eats because she's hungry, you know? So she kept teasing me, telling me that she didn't know that she had gone on a gastronomy tour. But for me, every trip is a gastronomy tour. And when it comes to Japanese food, I mean, even my friend was happy. I've never seen her so content while eating. Tokyo smells like an indoor pool because of the humidity and food. There's food everywhere and it's never bad food. It's always delicious. I'm gonna put a dark blue pencil on my waterline. This is the Intense Color Long Lasting Eyeliner from Kiko in the number 15. I'm also rubbing this along the lash line, apparently. The brushes from Hakuhodo I was most excited about, which surprised me because I thought I was going to be all over their fluffy brushes, were these very, very tiny detail brushes. They're so tiny and precise. I had never seen makeup brushes this detailed. So of course I had to grab some. So I'm going to take this tiny little pencil brush and this blue, this is Deep Truth from MAC, and I'm gonna smudge this along the lower lashes. I'm also taking that brush that I used with the purple just to blend the edges. I ran out of battery, so I had to take a little break, but I was taking my Deep Truth eyeshadow from MAC on a Zoeva Luxe Petite Crease brush, just going on the outer and inner corners, basically. But I don't have too much blue on the brush, like I don't want it to be super intense because I'm gonna use something else over top. So just going back and forth between the blue and the purple just to keep everything blended. This is just a transition, kind of. There's also this air of creativity about everything in Tokyo. Aside from all their formalities and bureaucracies, there's really nothing overly serious. Everything is decorated, everything's exciting, everything's just a little too much, and I love that. I also love the way that they do their makeup. It's not super technical, and I say this as I do a makeup tutorial, being super perfectionist as I am always, but it's not super technical. It's more about creating a character or conveying a feeling. It's just really cool. I guess it just reminded me about all of the things that I hate about the makeup industry and the things that I hate about my job. Because makeup to me isn't about looking beautiful or glamorous or hiding your flaws. It's about having fun and expressing yourself. And yeah, I think I'm going on a tangent here, but it's just how I felt. I'm now taking an Inglot Pure Pigment eyeshadow in the shade 58. It's just a very bright blue and I'm gonna use it on a wet synthetic brush. But yeah, Shinjuku was probably our favorite area in Tokyo, and it's one where we kept coming back. But there is still so much left unexplored in just that one area, which just goes to show just how much there's left to explore. It's just such a huge city, full of wonder. The only reason that I'm using this eyeshadow wet is because I want to avoid fallout at all costs. It really doesn't need any help to be as bright as it is right now. Now I'm going to go back into the blue and then into the purple until I get the intensity that I want. I'm now using the tiny pencil brush with some of that darker blue mixed into a little bit of black, just to line the outside of my lash line a little bit and just deepen that outer corner. Now I'm going to take this old Pat McGrath Labs iridescent pink pigment on a tiny little pointy brush. This is also by Hakuhodo, and just going on my inner corners. Now I'm just going to really quickly touch up my foundation because I was actually editing for like a couple of hours while my camera was charging, and this base really needs touching up. I'm also applying a little bit of concealer. It's the xa-vat Instant Concealer in the shade 2. The foundation I'm using is my Illamasqua Skin Base, by the way. Mascara is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I'm going to powder using my MAC Select Sheer Press Powder in NC15. I've gone quiet now and just kept to my makeup because I already probably talked a little bit too much, and there's no way that I can tell you all about my trip to Tokyo. As much as I'd love to fully share my excitement, because excitement is great and I think everyone should feel what I felt. I did my best to do a little bit of everything while I was in Tokyo and enjoy all the things that I owed myself. And you also need to go to Tokyo if you haven't already. So yeah, needless to say, I'll be coming back to Japan as soon as I possibly can, and as often. Milani Luminoso blush and the Hakuhodo B5521 brush. This one has the number on the handle because it's a regular sized one. Just going on the tops of my cheeks. But yeah, it's strange because I know so much about the culture and I feel like I've known Tokyo in my head for years. To actually experience being there in real life wasn't just surreal, it felt just right. It felt correct. It feels correct to be in Japan. I don't think I'll ever be satisfied, to be honest. And I still have all the other cities that I want to visit in Japan to go to too. And this packaging of the Luminoso blush is so falling apart. And I'm taking this pink blush and mixing it in with a little bit of the orange, taking the excess off on the back of my hand, building up this color just right on my cheekbone. I'm gonna go back in with the Pat McGrath thing and just go over top. This makeup is looking a little bit boring to me. I feel like it needs something else, I just don't know what. I'm gonna use the pencil that I used on my waterline to just go in the crease. Basically, I just drew a line on my crease with that pencil and I'm smudging it out slightly, but not too much. And I'm also going to bring a line up from underneath. And I'm also bringing this up, but not completely joining the line from the upper crease. So now I'm going to try and do the same thing on the other eye and dye. This is so stressful. I'm getting really hot. I'm also blending the lower lash line down a little bit more. I don't feel like doing lips at all because I haven't been feeling like doing lips at all. So I'm just going to pop on some lip balm. This is a matte lip balm. It's the Nuxe Rêve de Miel. And this is the look done. I hope you like it. So yeah, I guess this wraps up this video. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. I do plan on filming a haul of things that I got in Japan. Not all of it, because honestly I don't even remember all of the things that I got in Japan. I don't really know when it's coming because honestly I don't know when I'll have the time to film another video, but let me know in the comments if you're interested. I'm going to film it for you guys anyway. I'm going to shut up now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm glad to be back, kind of, sort of. I'm glad to be back filming and doing makeup and all of those things. As usual, there will be a list in the description box with every single product used in this tutorial, as well as links to all of my social media and other stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye! Mariana. Hello.